Hey Adam.
Hey Michael, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me out here to Expansive Workspace. I really appreciate it. So what is this called and what is Expansive Workspace about?
Yeah, so Expansive is a nationwide flex space provider. What you're in right now is our co-working lounge and kitchen. We have two of these, scattered throughout this space here in Wauwatosa. Yeah, it's a great place for people that, the hybrid workspace that maybe you're familiar with too, that they need to come touch down 2 days, 3 days a week. They can come down here, work, network, see people again, and yeah, just get together and be out in the community.
I know that you're also really involved with events for the community. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, we have a great, beautiful event space here in Wauwatosa. We also have a few conference rooms and a lounge, of course.
Yep.
But we have great events, whether it's chamber events, NAIOP events, anything like that, where it brings the community together. Come here, network, let loose a little bit, let the guards down. It's a great place, great atmosphere to do that. And we have a great community surrounding the building as well inside that kind of ties it all together.
Got it. Do you host events for your tenants as well?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. And that's one thing we like to feed on. We like to promote within and build the community within, because we're all here for one reason, and that's to work, grow our business, and do it together.
Sure, get going and growing together, right?
Exactly.
Very cool. Would you mind showing me around?
Yeah, come on.
Awesome. All right, so we're walking up to the kitchen, and I hear that this is a pretty fantastic place to hang out when you're in a co-working space. So tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. The water makes it all. It's daily infused water, different fruits and veggies every day that people love. It's refreshing, especially on those hot, muggy summer days. Fresh anodyne coffee, as always. And then, of course, the best part of the kitchen is to make it feel like you're home, but you're home away from home, right? So we got the Keurig with all the different flavors. You can bring your own as well.
Okay.
Everything here is kind of an amenity. It's free. And then, of course, we have the microwaves, ice makers, fridges, and vending machine for anything extra that you could want. But yeah, it's essentially you're home here when you're away from home.
Home away from home.
Exactly.
Very comfortable, very cozy. The lighting is even softer here, which is awesome as well. So I've heard, because I know some people that work here, that this is referred to as magic water. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's actually we're only Expansive location that does this, and we're just keeping the trend alive. Everybody flocks to it. We refill it all day, every day.
So is the magic in the conversation that happens around the water?
It is.
Okay.
It is. There's usually 3 or 4 people standing around here chatting about everything.
Very cool. Sounds like a great way to not get anything done.
Exactly.
Love it. So the other thing that I know is a highlight here at Expansive Workspace is the co-working lounge. Tell me about why that's beneficial to people.
Yeah, definitely. So since the work from home kind of situation over, people want to get back out and communicate again. So it gives a nice opportunity for you to sit down, get work done, have a guest come, nice comfy lounge pieces. It's not just all desks and chairs. They can sit down, be comfy, kick their feet up on the little table, and they can have a legit conversation, meaningful conversation with each other. It doesn't need to be this awkward in an office that's 60 square feet and you're just face to face.
Got it.
It creates that atmosphere with it too. And then you have everyone else kind of communicating around you too. So it kind of lets everyone's guards down and just feel comfortable.
The other thing that I notice about this place is it's beautiful, right? So a solopreneur or a very small startup company would have a very hard time having a space that looks as nice as this. So you guys did a great job. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
open,
thanks.
Spacious, feels like home for sure.
I would say 98% of this furniture is better and more expensive than the stuff at my house.
Fair enough.
It's made to last forever, made to be here for a long time, made to be comfortable and look the part as well. Okay.
Now, what if there is a business that needs a private space? Can you all accommodate that?
Absolutely. So we have about 84 private offices here, all different sizes, ranging from 80 square feet to 2,000 square feet. So it's good enough for teams of 1 or teams up to 20, really. It's made to grow, and you can start in a 1-person office, and as your team grows and business grows, you can go to the 2 to 4-person office and continue growing until you're ready, for something big.
Makes sense. Now, as I understand it, you guys have only just begun. There's a big expansion coming. And I hear that you have a 3D print of what that looks like. Would you mind showing that to us?
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's check it out. Wow, that's a huge growth coming. Okay. What's existing? The two in the one next to you and the other one, and then this stuff?
Right now we're right here. This building, Synergy Apartments, is up here. Over here is the building right next door. And actually, Homewood Suites is right here, and then Roundy's is right here. So everything here back is going to be new development within the next year to 4 years.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this. I mean, it's gorgeous, and there's a ton of work that needs to be done still. 5 buildings, if I'm counting, that still need to be built, that will ultimately bring in a lot of extra business and people into the community. So it's a gorgeous day outside. I'm curious if you'd be interested in walking around and showing me some of the stuff that's already up and running.
Absolutely, let's go.
Okay. Well, this is beautiful. Can people use this space?
Oh yeah, we have these lounges kind of spread throughout. So this is a nice quiet area when, let's say 50 people are out there working. Sure. You need to take a call. This is the perfect place too. We have a couple of these scattered throughout, even upstairs. So yeah, it's just a nice little place to tuck away and be secluded for a bit. The great thing about this space out here is our Wi-Fi obviously reaches out here. So you can work in there, come out here when it's beautiful out like today. And then if you're here on Wednesdays and Thursdays, they even have live music in the park.
Very good.
With different vendor setups, so it's a nice, tranquil spot.
What's one of your favorite things about working here?
All the food around it. Look at me, I'm a big guy.
Love it. Okay.
They're all really good. You got so many options: breakfast, lunch, dinner,
right.
Steak and seafood.
Well, that really kind of defines the idea of work-live, though, right? It wouldn't work if it was basic. It has to be a lot of options. So this is Homewood Suites. Tell me about that and the benefits of having a hotel here in the area as well.
I mean, you already got the food, you already got the place to work, the place to live. Now you got a place for guests to come here, whether it's events or anything else that's going on. It's great because it's right here, great parking, everything's within walking distance.
Makes perfect sense. The developers clearly thought of everything, even the guest rooms.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. I'm wondering how often someone who works or lives in this area might go out and shop and buy some stuff that maybe they didn't even know they needed.
Yeah, so I get an hour lunch break from my office, and I'm pretty sure my wife hates that I come back and spend $150 on my lunch break just on all the stores here. We have great partnerships with all these restaurants, whether it's Corner Bakery, Good City. We have catering plans for the events. We work with them because they're here. We're trying to sustain this whole kind of environment here.
Got it. Keep the business as close to home as possible.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Adam, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate the tour. I had heard that there is some amazing food, a best-kept secret, in fact, called Golden Nest. So I'm going to go grab something to eat. But again, I appreciate you for your time.
Take
care. Take care. Hey, Ashley. I'm Michael.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I love your space.
Oh,
it's gorgeous in here.
Excellent.
Let's talk about that and the community. Can you show me a little bit around?
Sure. We opened about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in August. It's two brothers that own it. We opened a second restaurant across the parking lot. Okay. And we have plans for 2 more Golden Nests in the upcoming summers.
Now, Golden Nest seems to be a hot spot for breakfast and lunch.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about being part of this organization?
I love the environment. I've started here about a week after we opened as a server, and less than 2 years later, I'm running the place.
That's very cool. I've heard a lot about the team as well. So congratulations. That's a huge progression in not even 2 years. So tell me a little bit about the robots. I heard they have some fun names.
Yes. So we actually ran a contest with the staff, with the guests, and then once we got all the collective entries, we had the staff choose from there. So we voted from there. The first one is Brunchy, and then 2 weeks later we got Egbert.
Egbert.
Yes.
So is that a talk? I mean, I eat out a lot. I've never once seen a robot serve. So how does that work, and what kind of buzz does it create from your clients?
It's been crazy. They're actually not servers, they're food transportation robots. So their purpose is to get the food out of the kitchen faster.
Okay.
So we still have servers, they still take the order. It's still the one-on-one customer service that we strive for. but they are to help expedite the food faster and keeps our servers on the floor in front of our guests.
Very good. So the food's fresher, if that's a word, more fresh.
Comes out a little bit hotter, a little bit faster.
Yep, that makes sense. And it makes them not, probably slows down the congestion, I would imagine, in the kitchen too.
When we're not tripping over them. We haven't quite got a rhythm yet, but we're working on it.
How long have they been deployed?
I would say we're coming up on 2 months on the first one. Yeah, just shy of 2 months.
So it's really fresh.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. It was great to meet you and to see your beautiful restaurant. I can't wait to come back and have some food.
Yes, we look forward to it.
We finally made it, and it feels so good to be in this building.
I know, and I'm so grateful that we get to build this company together with our agents who are going to be joining us and our team who's already here.
Yes, and finally being able to be in a place where we can just have the best possible, growth-minded, positive culture.
And that's truly why we created this company to begin with. It's the real estate firm that we always wanted, but it's also so much more, and there's so much more to do than just sell real estate, and I'm excited to be able to allow our agents to tap into that and become who they want to become with what they're truly gifted in. So how did this happen? We are sitting here in our office, finally, a moment we never thought would happen, ever.
Literally ever.
So if we go back to 6 months ago, we knew we were going to be opening our own brokerage. We knew that that would require us to have a building or a space to go to, right? Because we couldn't continue to work out of my dining room anymore. So we scoured the market, and there were two buildings for sale, and we didn't really love that. The paint was still wet in the basement, which told us someone was covering something up. Literally still wet, and it had been on the market for like 6 months, so that didn't make any sense. And then we came here, but what was interesting is so there was one picture of this building. Normally they have all the interior photos. There was one photo, and it was just the front of the building, so we had no idea what this looked like inside.
But just like what, like really nice Porsche on the outside?
Yeah, the seller's Corvette was in the parking lot because he loves it, so I think he wanted to. And I called the listing agent multiple times, and what I didn't know at the time was that the listing agent actually was the seller. And I asked some questions about the seller, and finally it came out, well, I am the seller, okay, but I can't show it to you for like 2 weeks because I'm going out of town. So when I finally got to come see it, I actually pulled in the wrong building first. And he was like waving me down from the parking lot, like, no, it's this building.
There's like 2 identical ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
I think you were.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah, you must have.
I was late, remember? I was like 30 minutes late because I had the wrong time on my calendar for it.
Shocker.
Yeah, that is so funny, but that just goes to show that's another thing that like just on to like this all happening and like literally nothing went right.
Yeah.
Right. I had the wrong time on my calendar.
Yep, and
so I was 30 minutes late.
We saw it, and you didn't love it. I didn't like love it, but it was literally the only building on the market. The only commercial building, which is funny because at the time, and even now, everyone keeps saying, commercial real estate is going to crash, no one wants commercial real estate, all these people are working from home, no one's gonna want commercial buildings. Then why are there none on the market? There is literally nothing on the market. So because this was the only one, we saw another one that was like double the price, but their rents were heavily inflated. The seller was purposefully renting to himself at almost 4 times what the market value would be.
Yeah.
They did that in order to make the cap rate higher than it really was. So we eventually offered on this building in the fall, and if you remember, he does not like e-signatures.
Yeah.
So then remember we were in a team meeting, he came in with the offer handwritten and hand wrote a counter offer to us.
I remember that.
And we signed it, and we got an accepted offer.
No, it was to put us into secondary.
Oh, that's right.
We weren't even.
That's right, he sat down, wrote the counter, and said, by the way, you're in secondary.
He has an accepted offer already,
Which he never disclosed.
Yeah, no, never disclosed. That was news to us.
Uh-huh.
And I remember at that point I had already written it off. I was like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, if you're in secondary and the other one's about to close, I mean,
yeah, because they had been
okay.
under contract for a while, but then he was like, you know, I don't know about these guys.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
to this day, I'd love to know who was primary.
I don't know. So then we sat there, yeah, in secondary for probably about a month. Kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And he called me.
That's when we were looking at the other buildings.
Yeah, because then we knew like this isn't going to happen. Then he called me and said, you're in primary. Issued us a notice. We were in primary. But by the way, we can't close for 5 to 6 months because I'm going to Florida for the winter and I will be back in the spring. So then we're like, okay. So we go through the process, we go through the loan, and we have an appraisal, and the appraisal comes in 50 grand light. So now we have even more of a reason not to buy this building. I then served notice to the seller that the appraisal came in very low. You need to change your price to this new appraised value or we're walking away. You know what he said to me? He said, well, I hope you've got 50 grand. And I said, like we have an appraisal contingency for a reason. I am not overpaying for your building. And he didn't hang up the phone and I could hear him talking to his wife and he goes, well, she's out. And he hangs up the phone. So that's when I'm like, this is not happening. There's no way this is going to happen. I called the appraiser, did whatever I could to see if he could come back and reappraise it because there is literally nothing on the market and the other property that is on the market is double the price. The appraiser ended up asking me to pay him $1,000 to re-look at the value. And he did. And it appraised out. Boom. And I think just what this process has taught us more than anything is there is literally nothing stopping you if you are willing to take every step to make something happen.
Yeah, I agree.
We knew we were opening a brokerage and literally nothing was going to stop us. And how many roadblocks were put in front of our face over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where I said there's a 10% chance we're getting this space.
Right.
And here we are, and it just...
Right, and even like, you have to have a vision and you have to be able to hold on to that vision even when it's not clear.
Every day the decisions we make are to get closer to that, and all of a sudden you look behind you and you're like, oh my gosh, I came so far. But even still, it's every day. You're just one foot in front of the other, and that's the thing. And that's what I really want to teach our agents when they're starting their real estate businesses or educating their clients, that it's just one step in front of the other, and you will get there, but you're never really there.
Right.
I don't think you ever arrive.
Nope.
Because there's always something more to accomplish or do or achieve, and you have to enjoy the process, because life is the process. This is it. Like,
and if you don't enjoy the process, then you're never gonna get anywhere.
We are here. Here we are. Pretty crazy.
In all its glory.
Through all the storms, I'm by your side. Through days of warmth, I'm by your side. Like the stars and the moon in the nighttime sky, I'm